Alright YouTubers, coming back at you with another knife video. We're looking at another fixed blade from Tops Knives. This is the Hog 4.5, and this is probably one of the most comfortable knives to use that I've ever used. The handle is just awesome. It's just butter. Let's go over the specs real quick before we get into initial impressions. 1095 high carbon steel with the typical black coating there. It is a 4.5 inch blade designed by Dave Williams. The Hog stands for Hunter of Gunmen, so it's kind of designed as a overall multi-purpose knife, not just like a bushcraft knife, not just a, more of a survival blade. It does do well in a bushcraft task though, and I'll roll in some footage here in a little bit showing that. It does have a 90-degree spine, but if you want to strike a ferro rod, you're going to have to get some of that off of there. So the spine works well to clear off bark and such, which is nice. It's got an oversized lanyard hole big time in this. I mean, it almost looks like it's something where you put your pinky, but it's not really designed for that. It's just designed to easily, like if you use like a clip or something, clip onto a pack, or to have a big lanyard hole. So micarta scales with white liners. Again, the scales are in the handle ergonomics are perfection. I mean, it's hard to say that there's a better feeling knife in the hand. Here is the size comparison next to the GSO 4.1. Just a very similar sized knife there, and the Real Steel Bushcraft that I recently reviewed, great budget knife there. So similar in size to those. The handle length on the Real Steel and the Hog is almost identical, but you get more blade with the Hog. You also get a wider blade, which is nice. And the Real Steel has a great handle, but the Hog just blows it out of the water. It's so good. So if you're looking for a super comfortable mid-size, fixed blade, this would be it. I mean, it's definitely not small. It's not, like I said, I call it a mid-size because it's not super long. It's not like a 7-inch blade like a BK7 or something. But it's got a good enough blade that you can do pretty much any task you need to with the knife, and it's going to perform well. Let's go over the specs real quick. Overall length on this is just shy of 10 inches, about 9 3/4 inches. The sheath is probably one of the weakest points of this knife. It works, it functions. It has the Velcro there. It's just kind of a cheaper nylon, and it has, I mean, look, it'll like slide right out of there if you're not careful. So I think that's why they did this flap here, to keep it in there. And then you have a little pocket here for whatever, fire kit, sharpening stone, whatever you want to put on there. And then one thing a lot of people have said they hate this flap. Well, you can actually remove it. The Velcro comes on Velcro right there. But again, the retention, you shake it, it's going to slide out. So I would probably keep that flap on there. It does have MOLLE attachment, which is nice. So you can throw that on a pack really easily. And it came with their, I haven't even done the paracord or whistle there. So I have used the knife quite a bit, as you can see by the condition of the knife and as the footage I'll roll in. And the edge, I haven't touched this up at all, is still very, very sharp. So that's always a plus when you use the heck out of a knife and it's still very sharp. Let's get out some paper, see how it cuts. And this is full book paper, which is even much thinner than normal paper. Let's see how it does. That's pretty good. The factory edge from Tops. Seems to work pretty well. It's catching a little bit. Again, that is foam paper, which is really thin. And that's after quite a bit of work, so I bet if I stropped it a little bit, it'd be good as new. It's very, very sharp. It's definitely shaving sharp, which is good. So, great knife. Let's go ahead and roll in that footage. You can see some use with this, and we'll go from there. That's a gnarly piece. Went through that no problem. Like this, that it's going to really excel with smaller kindling. Yeah, no problems there. So, good overall use knife. Very comfortable in the hand to use. Got one of the best handles on any of the tops knives I've ever had. I like it a lot better than the Brothers Bushcraft handle. It's super comfortable. Not a bad little feather stick. Definitely feather stick's good. The handle is super comfy. I mean, you don't get any fatigue when you're using the knife. And it was nice and comfy when you're batoning with it, obviously. Not doing a lot with the handle, but the blade's nice and thick. So it'll, handle that kind of abuse. It's really meant to be used hard. It's got a nice sharp spine. And clear off all this excess bark and such off this walking stick I've been working on for my son for a long time. We go camping, he likes to, or hiking and stuff. Found this stick and we kind of brought it home and smoothed it out, make it more comfortable, but there was some excess. So it's nice and sharp spine. Should strike a fire still really well also. That's one of the nicest uses of a sharp spine, is to save your edge and just use the spine to shave that off. Yeah. Clean it up nicely. See how the Hog does on these fine detail work. It's got a really good flat grind on this blade. So it just goes through this stuff like butter. So if you need to do some fine detail work with this, it's no big deal. If you want to make a nice sharp like spear or something out of this, I could easily do that with this. You got a lot of fine control. This is about the perfect size overall camp knife, in my opinion. Yeah, you can get really fine shavings and fine work on this. A side note, I noticed on the sheath that you have to have the knife in like this. If you do, it's got really good retention. If you put it in this way, is where it slips out. So something to keep in mind. A lot of sheaths like this, though, will typically work both ways, but this one is in particular has to be situated like this for it to have. So wrapping up the video, I would definitely recommend this knife. It has a nice, really good handle. Obviously, one of the most comfortable I've had. I'm a big fan of 1095 steel. It just has good edge retention and it takes an edge really easily in the field. It's one of my more preferred field steels. And the only thing I would change is probably the sheath. Leaves a little bit to be desired on that. I was looking at this. Your blade thickness is 0.195. So pretty good substantial blade stock on that. So it's going to take a lot of abuse that you give it, and just be able to handle that no problem. So overall, again, gave the Hog 4.5 a nice Guns and Gear recommendation. It's a great overall fixed blade, good survival blade, bushcraft, just a great knife and super comfortable. and made right here in the USA. Price, I'll put a link in the description to my Amazon store. You can pick it up for 129 bucks on my Amazon store. That's prime shipping and everything. Great deal. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next video.